Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So by the title of this video, you guys already know what it's going to be about. I filmed this video 2 months ago. I didn't like how it came out. It was like all over the place and I kept forgetting stuff and then adding them in later, so it was like a mess. So I decided not to upload that video. Mia wants to say hi. Come baby. Hi mommy, how are you? So I decided to refilm it today, and hopefully this time around it goes better. So if you're watching it, it did go better than the last time. So anyways, I'm rambling. If you're interested in seeing the story time, then just keep on watching. Okay, so this particular story time started in 2019 and it ended last year, 2020. So basically what happened was I moved to this apartment and I was looking for a job, but at that time I was going to a different university and it was all the way in Tilburg, so it was like really far from where I live. So I didn't want to look for a job that was also far and a job that I also need to travel far for. So I just started looking like at random places around here and places that I can just basically go walking. And I found a store. I'm not going to mention any names because then people are going to like start putting pieces together and stuff, but basically I found a store that I liked and I wanted to, you know, see if I could find a job there. For those of you who don't know, I do have a bachelor's degree, so I didn't go looking for a job at that level. Like, that is not what this was at all. I just wanted like a part-time job, something easy, quick, to make some quick money, and that's it. So what happened was I applied to the job. 3 days later I got a call. They said basically they wanted to do an interview. I went to the interview. Everything went well, I thought. The guy that interviewed me was super nice. We spoke, we laughed, it was all great. So I had a good feeling about it. Then I had long nails like this, and he said, I think those nails are going to be a problem. And I said, why? He said, you know, because you're going to need to lift heavy boxes and stuff, because basically the place that I'm talking about, basically like a store where you just buy like home stuff and random stuff. And he said, well, when merchandises come in, you will need to lift boxes and stuff. So those nails may break or you may hurt your nails. So you might want to keep that in mind. I was like, okay, I'll think about it. Maybe I will remove them or get them shorter, you know. He was like, okay, perfect. It's not like a requirement or anything, but it's just for your own safety. I was like, okay, perfect. So he told me that I would need to get a call back to see if I got the job. So I was like, okay. Then we started walking outside. He was like, you know what, wait here. And I'm like, okay. He went in the office. He took like 20 minutes. Then he came out. He was like, you got the job. And I'm like, okay, awesome. The job that I got, I basically needed to like fill the racks and like, I don't know how to say that in English, but basically I needed to put the stuff in a store so people could actually buy it, like put the stuff on the shelves and stuff. So that was what I wanted to do, put stuff on shelves so I don't need to have human interaction or minimum human interaction, because I will just do like minding my business, doing that, going home, just a couple of hours a day, making some quick money, and that's it. That's what I wanted. He asked me during the interview if I wanted to work as a cashier also. I said no. He said, why? You have a pretty face. I said, okay, thanks for the compliment, but no, I don't want to work as a cashier. I really don't like that. It gives me anxiety and, you know, it's just too much. Like, I don't want to do it, no. And he was like, okay, you're just going to be doing this, but it's gonna get boring. I'm like, that's fine with me. When it gets boring, we will see. But for now, this is what I want to do. He was like, okay, it's your choice. So we agreed on that. Then he told me that I got a job. I signed everything, and he told me that basically I would get the contract at home, like via mail, and that I would get like my uniform and stuff, and then they will tell me when I need to start. So I was like, okay, awesome. Like, this is going so great. Like, this is awesome. So About 3 weeks or 2 weeks later, I think, I got a call that I needed to come in to work and stuff. So I was like, awesome, like finally I get to start doing this. I was a little nervous, not gonna lie. I do have social anxiety, so I was like, but you know, it wasn't nothing crazy. They started putting me on these shifts that started at 7 a.m., which was perfect for me because then I had the rest of the day free. So I was like, you know, let's do this. So I went on my first day and I met with a different lady. I thought I was gonna meet the man that did the interview with me because he was a manager. So I thought that was the manager that I was gonna meet this day also. But when I went, I met another lady, or a lady, and she basically said that she was the manager and that the man that I spoke to during the interview didn't work there anymore. So I was like, you know, that's sad because we kind of vibe a little bit. But I was like, you know, like, what does it matter to me who works here or not? Like, I just came to do my job and that's about it. So she basically started talking to me and she introduced herself, and the other people that were there on the same shift as me introduced themselves also. And you need to keep in mind that this manager is a little bit, or at that time she was a little like really short. She was like speak very, I don't know, like very agitated in a way, and like she's speaking to you but she really doesn't want to speak to you. She's speaking like and I really don't like that because I feel like you're rushing me and it's too much. But you know, I was like, people are who they are and how they are, so again, I don't mind it that much. So this manager, we're going to call her Maria. Okay, so Maria basically is the manager above all the other managers, because there are some other managers but they are working under her. So when she's not there, they like take the shift, or they like have different groups that they basically manage. So for example, one manager could be the manager of the inventory, and the other manager could be the manager of the people working on the floor, and then other manager. So that's how it goes, but basically all of them report to Maria. So Maria told me basically what I need to do. She was like, okay, just go in, do this, do that, do this, do that. And she appointed me to someone, and she basically said that this girl will help me and get started. So we got started. It was super fun, you know, everything was going great. I'm not super friendly if I don't know you, so I wasn't going like with everyone. I was just, you know, basically staying in my place because it's my job, you know. So staying in my place, doing what I came here to do, and then I'm a dip. A month went by and things were going, you know, just okay. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know yet, but you know, I was learning, so it was normal. So things are going fine. Then they started putting me in different shifts that were from 4 to 9 p.m. And I started meeting new people, like the people that work those shifts. So basically I met everyone at this point because I know the people that work during the mornings and I know people that work during the afternoons. So I started working and I met this lady, and this is when everything started going downhill. So I met this lady and I started meeting a lot of older people that worked there. And this lady would be about in her 50s. And she came to me, she seemed super nice, like her face, she seemed super nice. So I thought like, oh, like this would be my work friend, you know? No. So she came to me and she was told to help me. So she was like, what are you doing? I said this. She came to help me. Then she saw my nails. Now, quick note before we continue. Because on the first day that I went during the interview, the manager told me that my nails were long and that I was gonna hurt them. That is one thing I hate, like breaking nails and stuff. It hurts so bad. So the next day after that interview, I went and got all my nails removed, and I had them super short, like I had them to about here. So basically just normal nail length. But because my nails are so fragile and they break off easily, I had to put acrylics on it, but they were like super short. Besides the points, just so you guys know, like keep that in mind, I did have nails, but they were like really tiny and not cute. Okay, so we fast forward back to this 50-year-old person. She comes to me and she's helping me, and then she notices that I have acrylics on. So she's like, what are those? And I said, what are what? And she said the nails. Like, I'm like I really wasn't getting it. Like, what is she saying? Like, are they ugly? Like what are you saying? And she was like this is, and then she mentioned the company name. Like, this is like, there are no princesses here. I was like, ma'am, like, what do you mean? I was so shook, because what do you mean? Like, there are no princesses here. Like, this is like what do you mean? Like, these tiny nails scream I'm a princess to you? Is that insecurity popping out? Like, what is going on? So I, of course, being who I am, I didn't know what to say. Like, probably someone else would have told her something, but I didn't know what to say. So I was like, okay. So I was like laughing and laughed it off, and just I went home. I kept thinking about it, because I'm like, why would she say something like that to me? Like, why? Anyways, after that, she kept saying stuff like that to me every time I work. Like, for example, I always wear my hair in a low bun when I went to work, so I would do it like this and then with a low bun. And she would like look at my hair funny. And then one day I cut my hair really short up to here, and I went with my hair straightened, because I couldn't put it in a bun. It was super short, so I wasn't able to do that. So I went to work with my hair super short, and it was like just loose. And she was like, you really think you're a princess, huh? And I'm like, wow, like, why does she feel the need to always say that to me? Like, why do you think that I think that I'm a princess? Because I am. Like, every woman should feel that they are a princess, and if you don't feel that way, that's on you. But I mean, why would you say that to me? Like, and I was like, why did you say that? And she's like, because look at your hair. I said, my hair is so short because all my hair fell off, and I don't have hair now, and I had to cut it, and my hair is so short that I can put it in a ponytail. This is why I have it like this. And she's like, I guess. Like, she was mad weird. So from that point, I started realizing, like, yeah, like, she's weird. And one thing that bothered me really much is that everyone loved her, and it seemed like I was the only one that, like, she kind of had an issue with. So I wasn't understanding, because I couldn't tell anyone, like, she's doing this, she's doing that, because everyone loved her. So it would seem like I'm the problem. So I didn't tell anyone. I was just like, like, that's that. Then I started working with the other manager. Like, this manager is really young, and she's younger than me. She was 21 at the time, or 20. She was 20 at the time. And I started working with her. We're going to call her Diana. So Diana was 20 years old, and she was the manager of the people that work on the floor. So basically, she would tell all of us, you need to work on this shelf and on this row and do this, and you need to work on this cashier. So basically, that was her job. But she took the job as if she was the owner of the company. Like, she felt like the company was hers and everyone were her little slaves, and I hated that. Now, don't get me wrong, she was really cool in the beginning, and she was nice and everything. And because she's young, like, the other people that worked there with me that are also young kind of vibed with her, and everyone wanted to be her friend, because she seemed cool and everything. To me, it doesn't do a lot for me. And like I said, I'm not the most outgoing, friendly person. So if I see, like, everyone's on top of you and doing all that, like, I'm not the one that's gonna be on top of you too. Like, that's not who I am. So she started noticing that I'm more, like, laid back, and I feel like that intrigued her more. Like, she wanted my attention, kind of. So she started talking to me and stuff, and we kind of became a little close. Like, sometimes we would get lunch together during our lunch breaks. Like, it was kind of fun. But then she started shifting and being this whole, like, I don't know, like, she started projecting some shit that I wasn't. So she also started being, like, super mean. And, like, for example, when we would close, like, of course we needed to clean the store and make the store look nice for the next day and have everything prepared. So she would always ask me to clean the bathrooms and do all that. And, like, she would try to give me the things that she felt like were the most low things to do, like the like the lowest things that you could do, and she would try to ask me to do those things. Like for example, if someone else just has to like mop the floor in the store, she would always give me like the bathrooms and like nasty stuff. And I was like, wow, like you're really mean for no reason, and like you think this is making you better, and it really isn't. Like you really are not all that. You're stupid, you're mean, you're arrogant, so your personality is trash, and you feel great trying to impress some 15-year-olds, and it's lame. Like it's sad. Like if that's all you have to offer, it's sad, but you know, go off, I guess. There was also one time that I went to the store or went to work, and I had my hair loose and I had it straightened, and one of them came to me and she was like, is that your real hair or is that just a wig? And I'm like, wig? What do you mean a wig? Like it is my hair, like what do you mean? And she was like, it doesn't really fit you. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean my hair doesn't fit me? What do you mean? And she was like, yeah, you know, but just when I look at you, I don't really see you with that type of hair. But anyways, so I'm like, wow, like that is mad crazy, because you wouldn't say that to a fine hair blonde girl. You wouldn't say that. So why are you saying it to me? Like that's not cool. What do you mean? Like, also before we move forward, you guys remember that I said in the beginning that I told the manager I wanted to only work like on the floor, no cashiers, none of that, just work on the floor and, you know, do the inventory, all that. And he was cool with it. That's why I signed the contract, because you told me like this is what we agreed on. Now when I started working 2 weeks after, they said, oh, you're the cashier today. And I was like, no. I didn't sign up for a cashier. It must be a misunderstanding, because I only work on the floor. And the manager, Maria, like the first one that I met, she was like, no, you're working cashier today. And I said, no, I didn't even know how to do it. Like I didn't even know how to work with the system. Like you can't just put me as the only cashier and just leave me there. Like that's not how it goes. And she was like, somebody will teach you, but you need to do it today because we don't have anyone else to do it. And I'm like, all these other employees in here, like, don't you see them? Or she was like, no, but you need to learn at some point. And I didn't want to like keep arguing back and forth with her, so I was like, okay, like I really don't want to do this, but like if you really insist, like I'm gonna do it. So I went there and they taught me everything that I need to know about the system and everything. And that was the second mistake, and that was the second point where everything went. But okay, so from that point on, they never let me work floor anymore. I always worked a cashier. I was the first cashier. So basically you have the first cashier, and if the store gets really crowded, then you call a second cashier. So the first cashier is always there, and that was me. I was the first cashier always, every single day. Okay, don't know why that is, but you know. Then at some point I kind of started liking it, because you know I became good at my job, and I was really fast, and you know I got to speak to clients, and some of them were funny, and you know it was like a vibe sometimes. So it was kind of nice at some point, and I didn't mind it that much anymore. That's why I didn't like keep going to her and like, you know, making a big deal out of it. Like I said, I was working cashier always, and I started noticing that Diana was like becoming really weird, like sometimes, especially when there's other employees or when there's customers around, and I really didn't like that. For example, like if she sees like a cute guy walk in, she would come to me and she would say like, because I have a mic, because I work at a cashier and I have a mic that I can talk to the store and to the customers and to my colleagues. Like if I need something, I would grab the mic and call one of my colleagues and ask for something. So she knows that the mic is there, and she would come and she would say something like, when this guy, like the cute guy that walked in, right? When the cute guy comes to the cashier and tries to pay with you, just call me and keep saying that I'm the manager. So keep saying like manager, 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 so that he can know that I'm not like one of you guys. Like I'm actually a manager here, not just the cashier. And I'm like you do hear yourself, right? Like what? Like she tried to belittle us, but make it in a funny way, kind of like, I'm not just a cashier, like I'm a manager. And I'm like, but are you though? Like, are you? So I was like, what the fuck? Then there was another instance when she bought the new Balenciaga shoes. There was the time when they just came out with the big ones. I don't even know the names, but the ones that are like really big and thick. And the new shoes came out, and she brought them to work, and she was wearing them, and she was like, I feel like the shoes were heavy or something, because she was stomping her feet on the ground like boom, boom, boom. And everyone kept noticing, like, why the fuck are you walking like that? And I feel like she kind of did it on purpose, I don't know. But when she realized that everyone was noticing like how weird she was walking, she like turned around and she was like, don't worry, like it's a new shoe, like do you guys have it? And we were like, no. Or I didn't even answer, because but the other people, they were like, no, we don't have it, but it's nice, blah blah blah. And they were giving her compliments, which is what she wants. And she was like, yeah, maybe one day you can buy one. Like, what do you mean? Like, are you implying that everyone is broke and no one can afford it, and you can afford it, and just like, wait, maybe one day you can afford it? Like, that is so belittling, and like, it just blows my mind how she did it. And everyone was like like laughing when they're like, I'm not laughing, that is not funny. So she did like stuff like that all the time, and all the other colleagues started like doing that to me also, which bothered me a lot. So for example, we were sitting one time in the break room, and basically the thing that bothered me the most is that the people that I work with the most were young people. So they were younger than me, and that means they were a little childish, and I hated that. So they were ranging from the ages of 15 to 20. Like, the manager was 20, Diana, but I don't think any of the other guys were 20. So it was like 15 to 19 basically. And I remember one time we were sitting in the break room, like all of us, because we were on a break, and we were sitting there, and I had my headphones in because they don't talk to me. So I don't want to talk to them either, because you guys are mad weird. Like, so I just kept minding my business, and sometimes they would speak like Turkish or like whatever language that they speak, so I don't even understand what they're saying. So I'm like, why would I not put my headphones in? So I had my headphones in, I was like doing whatever on my phone, and then I noticed that someone, like one of them, was waving at me, and I was like, what? And she was like how did your exams go? And I'm like, what exams? Like, what? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm listening to music, so I didn't hear it. And she was like, oh, like we were talking about exams and stuff, because like we just had exams, and we just wanted to know how yours went. Like, you're doing exams too, right? And I said, no, like I'm not doing exams right now, no. And one of them kind of giggled, like kind of making fun of me. So I was like I really am not getting what is the funny thing, because I don't know what you guys are talking about. So I kind of got a little bit irritated, and normally I would just put my headphone back in and ignore it, but it kind of bothered me that she kind of giggled like that in front of me. So I was like explain, like what are you talking about? And she was like, well, basically all of us go to the same school. We're not in the same class, but all of us go to the same school, and we just had exams, and that is why we asked you, because you're doing the same studies too, right? You're on HAVO too, right? And HAVO is basically like middle school. So she basically asked me if I was in middle school too. And when I said no, she said, oh, you're in VMBO, which is like middle school but like lower. I don't know how do people say that in English, but basically there's like elementary school, and then middle school, and then you do your bachelor's or whatever, high school, whatever. So I think middle school is like HAVO, and then I don't know, I will put the terms on the screen, but basically they were all going to HAVO. And when I said no, I'm not going to HAVO, she basically said, oh, you're doing VMBO. Oh, no. So basically that is a level below HAVO, and they thought like, oh, like if I'm not doing HAVO, I must be doing the level below them. So then it became funnier to them, because they thought like, oh, like she's doing FAMBO, and they were doing half, so they felt great about themselves, And normally I would just ignore it, but that day I wasn't having it. So I was like, oh, that's what you're saying. Oh, now I get it, now I get it, now I get it. And they were laughing at me, but kind of laughing at me. So they were like, yeah, but it's okay, it's okay. Like when you get to Harvard, you will get exams too. So I was like, actually, I did Harvard a lot of years ago. I finished it. Then I went to the university. I did my bachelor's. I graduated the best of my class with the best thesis. And I'm doing my second bachelor's degree. So yeah, no, I'm not doing exams at Harvard. But success though, like good luck. Kill it. And I feel like I said it in that tone, and they were like, oh, it is stank face looking at me like, who do I think I am? Bitch, that's exactly who I think I am. Like, what the fuck are you guys saying? Like, I'm not the one that sits here like, oh, I have a degree, because it's not about that. But don't try to belittle me and like laugh with your little friends and think that I'm just going to sit here and like take it. Like, no, like what kind of nastiness is that? Like, no. I also said that I can never work on Tuesdays, because you have to give like the days that you're able to work and your availability, and based on that they make the schedules for everyone to work, because everyone has to go to school and stuff. So you basically tell them your schedule from your school, and then based on that they make their schedule for work. So for example, I said I can never work on Tuesdays because I always have classes till late on Tuesdays, and my school is all the way in Tilburg. So if I finish at 8, there's no way that I can come to Rotterdam and work here. So I can't do it. On Tuesdays, I'm not available. Tell me why they would always schedule me on Tuesdays. Like always. Tuesdays, I'm the first one. And I've always had to remind them, like, I cannot come in on Tuesday. You put me here, but I cannot come. And they would get irritated, like, what should I do now? Like, I don't have anyone else to work on this day. Like, what should I do? Like, if you can't work, you just need to say, like, you can't work anymore. But I can't keep putting you on the schedule and you can never come in. And I was like, it's not that I can never come in. I can always come in, but not on Tuesdays. She would do it the same thing all over again the next week. Put me on Tuesdays just so I can say that I can't come in, just so they can make a big deal about it and tell me how inconvenient it is that they now can't find anyone to work on that day and that they now have a problem. Like, why would you do that? You're old. Grow up. So that went on, and from that point on, I was like, I don't even want to have anything to do with these girls, because they're childish and they're stupid, and they just try to belittle people and they don't even know who I am, or like, what? Like, why would you do that? And I don't like that mean girl type stuff. Like, that is stupid. So I don't associate. So from that point I said, like, I'm not gonna deal with these girls anymore. And I feel they felt the same way. So from that point on, every time that I came to work and then I would clock in and they would be in the break room sitting there or anything, I would say like hi, like I would greet when I walk in. Nobody would answer. Everyone would just be chilling, talking, minding their business. And at first I thought like maybe I'm not speaking loud enough, so I started going in and like, hi, good morning. No one would answer. Like, for real, no one would answer. Everyone would be on their phone. And then someone else, like another colleague, would walk in, and then everyone would be like, hey, like, how are you? Like, and then like I would start noticing like, oh, you guys don't greet me, so I'm not saying shit. So every time that I went to work, I just walked in and took a seat. I didn't speak to anyone because you guys don't speak back. So I'm not stupid. I'm not gonna keep doing it. So then one day my manager Maria, she called me and she was like, I need to talk to you, like, do you have a minute? I'm like, of course. And I went in her office and she basically started telling me all this stuff, like she basically started telling me that all the colleagues are complaining about how rude I am, and about how mean I am, and that I think I'm better than them, and that I never greet them, and then I just walk in and look at them with a stank face, and that I just don't greet anyone, and that I behave in a way that I feel like I'm better than everyone in the workplace. And I'm like, what? And I said, who said that? Like, for real, tell me who said it. And she's like, no, I'm not mentioning any names, but I want to know what happened or what is happening. So I said, you want to know what is happening? Like, I'm gonna tell you what's happening. And I told her everything, like from the first date that they told me that I think I'm a princess and that I greet and no one greets me back. And I said, you know, I'm not doing it because I want to snitch or anything, because if I wanted to snitch, I would have told you this a long time ago. I didn't come to you. And she said, oh, why didn't you come to me? Like, this is a work, but we wanted to feel like family. Why didn't you come to me? I said, because I'm not a snitch. Like, I'm not gonna go crying to mommy every time someone does something. Like, I don't care if they don't want to greet me. I don't care. Like, I'm not a little baby that's gonna sit here like, oh, nobody's greeting me. Like, I don't care. I'm getting paid, that's it. And she said, well, that's very weird because everyone is complaining about you. So they basically said, then she started asking me like, who told you that? Like, who told me about being a princess and who told me the stuff? And I didn't want to mention any names because, you know, why? Like, why would I do that? And she said, well, if you tell me the names, I will tell you the names of the people that told me that you're mean and stuff. And I was like, that's a deal that I can get on. So I said, this person, and this person, they told me stuff. And she said, well, those are the same 3 people that told me, that came to me and that keep telling me that you shouldn't work here because you're mean and that you don't greet them and that you make them feel bad about themselves. And I'm like, oh, okay, awesome. Like, thanks for telling me. And from that point on, I made it my mission to look at them every single day with a stank face. Every single day. So, because first of all, I never did that. And if you're gonna go crying to the manager and lie about me, about something that I didn't do, I might as well do it. So I started looking at everyone with the stankiest and the most disgusting face that I could. And if they want to go cry to the manager about it, do it, because I'm doing it. Like, I'm really doing it. And they did go to her again and tell her the same thing, and she came back and told me all of these things. I didn't mind. So it was like a lot, and I don't want to make this story time really long because it's kind of really long already, and I want to get to another part before I close off the video. Hey baby. So these people started being really stupid and childish. Like, for example, I would call in the mic like, hey, I need help because I need to know the price of this plate. No one would come, like, for real, no one would come. And I would see them like right there, and they would just look at me like, and just not come and do their damn job, because you're not helping me, it's your job, like, you're there to do that. They would just not do it. So I was like, it's game on, bitches, it's game on. So from that point on, I just started ignoring them and doing the same shit that they do to me. Because, for example, when I'm not working cashier and they would call, I would just stand there and look at them like that's too bad, because I can't help you with that. I can't. And they got really mad and pissed, and I loved it. After that, I needed to go to Curacao because I had a family member that got sick. If you guys know, I am from Curacao, so I had to go to Curacao to see this family member. They basically told us that there's not a lot of chances that this person will survive. So they called every family member and said, you know, just let's come together. At the end, this person didn't die, thank God. The person didn't pass away or anything, and the person is doing great now. But I had to go. So I called my manager as soon as my mom called me right now and said, you need to come. So I was like, okay, bet. Like, I'm gonna call my manager right now and talk to her. So I called the manager. I was like, hey, you know, this and that is going on, and I need to go to Curacao, like blah, 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 blah. And she was like, okay, well, you need to send it to me in writing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, perfect. Like, I'm gonna do that. So that was everything that she and I spoke, and that was Maria that I spoke to. I spoke to Maria, I told her everything, and she was like, yeah, well, we don't have anyone to work. I was like, yeah, I understand that, like, this person is dying, so I feel like you can get another cashier to work for a couple of weeks because I need to go. Like, what do you want me to do? Just stay here and work and let this person die? Like, no. So she was cool with it. She was like, okay, like, do what you gotta do, safe flight, blah, blah, blah. Everything was great. So I thought. So the day before I had to go to Curacao, the other manager, the young one, Diana, she sends me a text and she's like, this is just a notification to let you know that this is your formal this is a formal complaint against you because you're not coming to work when you should, blah blah blah, and you didn't get vacation. So this is not a vacation, you're just refusing to come to work. And I'm like, what? I'm refusing to come to work? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I spoke to Maria and she told me this was okay. Like, I spoke to you guys on the phone and this was something that you guys know about. What do you mean refusing to come to work? And she's like, yeah, because we don't know why you're not here at work. What do you mean you don't know why? We spoke on the phone. Like, am I delusional? Am I just thinking that we spoke on the phone? Like, what is going on? So I started calling them. Like, I hated going back and forth shit texting. Like, I want to call you and see, like, what is going on? So I kept calling and kept calling and I kept calling and no one would pick up. So that made me so paranoid because I was at the airport. I was ready to go. And now they're saying that, like, they don't know where I'm at. Like, what is going on? So I was like, wow, this is really crazy. Now, before I left, I gave one of my friends a key to my house. So if anything would happen, this person could come in and just check on the house and see that everything is okay, you know, because I would be away and I don't know how long I would be away for. So this person would come, open the windows, let some fresh air flow, whatever. So keep that in mind because it's gonna be important. So I kept talking to this person on the phone, like the manager. I was like, what do you mean you don't know where I'm at? Like, I was so irritated. Then she started saying, like, yeah, you said you had to go, but we never said that you had permission to go. Like, you just told us that you wanted to go, but we never said that it was okay. I said, yes, you did. Yes, you did. And we spoke on the phone and you even said safe flight and then let you know how everything goes. So what do you mean? Like, what? So I was so irritated. I went to Curacao because, of course, I was already at the airport. So I went to Curacao and I did what I had to do. So while I was at Curacao, I kept trying to call them. They didn't pick up. So I was like, I don't know what to do. I tried texting them. No one would answer. And then my friend came home one day and she told me that there was mail at my door, that they had left a letter and that it was from my job. So I was like, yeah, open it and tell me what it says. So the letter basically said that I haven't come to work in over a week, and if I don't come to work tomorrow, they will fire me. So I was like, what? Like, how do you expect me to come to work if I'm at Curacao and you know that? And you send a letter to my home knowing good and well that I wasn't going to be able to read it because I'm at Curacao. So I was so mad. So I started calling again to ask them, like, what that letter was about, and no one was answering. So then I thought maybe I should try calling from a different phone number because they already know that this is my phone number and maybe that's why they're not answering. So I called from someone else's phone and tried a different phone number. They answered immediately. So I was like, why are you not answering my phone calls? You see me calling. I've been calling for over a week. Like, what is going on? I've been sending emails. I've called. I sent text messages. Like, what is going on? And now I get this letter at my home and I'm at Curacao. So someone else has to tell me that there's a letter at my door and that you're telling me that if I don't come in tomorrow, you're going to fire me. Like, what is going on? And they basically said, like, oh, it's you. And I said, yes, it's me. Like, what do you mean? And the boy at the phone, he was like, well, I can't talk to you. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, we're not allowed, like, none of us that work here, we're not allowed to talk to you. I said, what do you mean you're not allowed to talk to me? Like, what am I, a threat? Like, what is going on? Like, he said, I can't explain nothing further because if you really want to know what is going on, you have to talk to the manager. I said, well, put her on the phone. Like, I want to talk to her. Put her on the phone. Let's ask her. And he said, well, she's in a meeting right now, so she can't come to the phone. I said, stop lying. She's never in meetings. I work there. Do you remember? I work there. She's never in meetings. Put her on the phone. And he said, no, like, she's really in a meeting. Like, she can't come to the phone right now. And we're not allowed to talk to you. So I have to hang up. Boop. And he hung up on me. I was so pissed, because what do you mean you're gonna fire me if I don't come in tomorrow? Like, I cannot come in. What? So I spoke to the manager. I called from a different phone the next day, and they picked up again, and it was the manager, Maria. So I told her, well, ma'am, what is going on? Why did you send that letter to my home? And she basically said, oh, she didn't realize that I was in Curacao. I said, how did she not realize? I spoke to you on the phone. Are you playing me right now? Is this a game? Like, are you trying to get me fired for no reason? What is going on? And she basically was like, yeah, well, you decided to go. And I said, yes, and you know about it. And she said, well, you're not coming in. No, I'm not, because I'm a whole different country away. What do you mean? But basically, she kept saying that she doesn't know anything about the letter, and that it must have been a misunderstanding or something. Guys, tell me why 1 week later, my friend goes by my house again, and there's another letter saying that this is my second warning, and that if I don't come in tomorrow, I'm going to be fired, and I'm not gonna get any benefits or get paid or anything, so I need to come in tomorrow or it's done. And I'm like, wow, you guys are really trying me right now. You guys are really fucking trying it. So I spoke to my cousin who is studying law, and I spoke to a friend of mine who's also studying law, and they basically helped me put together a letter to send to my work, to my job. So I said, you know what, if you want to play it like that, we can play it like that, because I'm not doing anything wrong. I spoke to my manager before I left. I didn't just pack up my shit and go and didn't say nothing to anybody. That's not how it went. I even offered to go to work the days before I had to leave, just so they could have like spare time to find someone else. I don't know. I offered to do what I could, and they agreed to that, and now they're acting brand new, and I'm not here for it. So my friend and my cousin helped me put together a letter to send to my job, basically telling them that they're my lawyer, and that if they try to fire me, knowing good and well that I didn't do anything, my lawyer is gonna contact them, and it's gonna be an issue, and we're going to take this to court and see what happens, you know. And I didn't ever want that to go that far, but you know, they kept pushing it, so I didn't have a choice, because I'm not gonna sit here and let you fire me and I haven't done anything. So I had my friend, the one that came to my house and found the letter. I emailed her the letter, she printed it out, and she brought it to them in person. And she basically said, this is from Hillary, and she sent this from her lawyer, and you know, do with that what you want. And after that, the manager, the young one, she got scared like a baby. She ran in the office and she blocked me. She removed me out of the group chat, and she blocked me, and she never came out of the office again. So my friend was just standing there with the letter, like, are you gonna take this or what? She just ran, blocked me on everything, and I'm like, bitch, like, stupid bitch. But anyways, she blocked me and everything, so I was like, oh, it's game on, because at this point you still have a chance and say like, Hillary, let's talk about it, and I would have done it. I would have talked to them, but now you're just making me mad, like, for no reason. So that was what happened with them. They removed me from everything, and I decided to send an email to the HR department from my company, like with the proof of everything, with all the receipts and all the texts and everything that I had, the voice notes, the letter from the lawyer, everything. I sent everything to them, to the HR department, and told them like, can you guys help, because I don't know what's going on and you should help. They didn't answer. So I was like, oh, they're in on this too. Awesome. So this goes higher up. Awesome. So I said, well, if you don't answer, so I sent another email. I said, if you don't answer, I'm gonna send my lawyers to you too, so you better answer. The same day, I got a response on the email that said basically like, oh, we need you to come in tomorrow to a meeting, like with the HR department. I said, like I stated a billion times, I cannot come in tomorrow or the day after because I'm at Curacao. So no, I cannot come in. And they were like, oh, but when are you coming back then? And I said, in over 2 weeks. And they said, well, we need you to come in the same day that you get there. So I didn't even get a chance to like relax and do anything. I got there, for example, if I got here today, I had the meeting today. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go to that meeting. As a matter of fact, I am. And you know what else? I'm gonna bring my friend, my cousin, the one that is studying law, because she's gonna help me and see if you guys are trying to scam me and play me, and I'm not having it. So I brought my cousin with me to the meeting. So I flew back to the Netherlands, and the same day we went to the meeting. So I got home from the airport, hopped in the shower, took a shower, did my makeup, did something quick, put on something, and went out. And it was really far, so we had to catch the train and everything. So my cousin and I, we went and we had the meeting. So it was two men. I never met them before because they're like higher up than the people at my store that I work for. So they were super cocky and arrogant and just weird and like they're disgusting. So when I came in, COVID was kind of starting to become a little popular or whatever. So people weren't shaking hands. So when they opened the door and they saw us, and he was like, I cannot shake your hand because it's COVID. And I said, I don't want to shake your hand anyway, so it's better. Because I was really mad at them for the way that they treated me, and they know everything that was going on and they allowed it. So I was really pissed. So we went in and we started talking, and they basically started raising their voice at me like, yeah, you know, you can't do this. You can't just leave the country and just don't inform anyone. I said, can you read, sir? Like, respectfully, can you read? Can you do that? Like, is that a skill that you have? Reading? You can do that, right? Did you read that paper? Did you read the emails that I sent? Because if you did, then you wouldn't be saying this to me right now. And he said, well, I read it, but your manager says otherwise. And I said, well, let's call her right now. Let's call her right now. Please, let's. And he said, well, there's no need to do that. I said, yes, there is a need to do that. Because if you're sitting here straight up telling me that I'm lying and that you believe someone else, let's call the other person. Because I'm showing you all the proof. I'm showing you pictures of all the messages that I sent and that no one was answering. I let you hear the voice note of the call that I made, and they're basically telling me that they're not allowed to talk to me. And now you're telling me that I left the country and no one... What? So basically it was a whole thing, and like I said, there were two guys. So one of them just got straight up mad, and he just stopped talking during this meeting. He just grabbed his phone like this, and he was on his phone the whole time, just like and I was like, I was so irritated, and it was so annoying. So then they started telling me like, yeah, like, what do you want? Do you want to get paid and not work? I said, sir, the little thing that you guys pay me, I can live without it. So it's not about the money. It's about you being stupid, nasty, mean for no reason. That is what it's about. Not a little bit of money that you guys give me. Come on now. You're better than that. Don't flatter yourself. Like, the story isn't all that, and you know it. And he started getting really mad at me, and he started trying to scream at me. So then my cousin stepped in, and my cousin was like, stop! Hold up, like, what do you think you're doing? I'm gonna need you to lower your voice and think about what you're saying, because he kind of started insulting me a little bit, because he was like if this is the only job you can get, I get it, like, you want to keep the job because this seems like the only job that you can get. And I was like, do you not know who I am? Like, what are you saying? Like, I'm a whole graduate. What are you saying? Like, this is not about the job. Like, don't nobody want to fight over this job? Like, I'm not fighting over the job. I'm fighting over the fact that it's an injustice and that this is not right, and that you guys don't have principles or morals, and that you're just mean and rude for no reason. That is what I'm mad about, not the job. Like, sir, please. And my cousin stepped in and basically put him in his place, and he was like, and basically my cousin told me like, My cousin told him, and anyways, we don't even want to hear all that. We came here to get the money because she is getting paid and she will get paid. And if you guys want to end the contract, that's awesome because she doesn't want to work for you guys anymore anyway. So end the contract, but you're gonna pay her. You're gonna pay her. And basically they said, well, that's not how it works because we can't pay you if you're not working. I said, I'm not gonna work. I'm not going back to that place. I'm really not. And he said, well, how do you expect to get paid? So my cousin started telling him about the laws and everything, and like he knew that, but he thought that we didn't know that. And when my cousin started saying, well, it's the law, you need to pay her until her contract ends because it was your guys' fault and you guys did her dirty and it wasn't anything that she did, and you have all the proof right there, and if you don't pay her until her contract ends, we're going to take this to court. And he was like pulling his lip, and he was so mad and pissed and angry, and I loved every second of it. And yeah, basically that is what happened. I got paid until my contract ended, which was 4 months later, so I still got paid 4 months of work without going to work a single day, and it was awesome. And they had to pay me, and yeah, that was it. When we had to leave, he was like, ha ha ha, I hope to see you in the stores. I said, I hope I don't see you in the stores. Like, what kind of stupid joke is that? Like, boy, bye. Like, ugh. But that was basically how everything ended, and all of the colleagues, they blocked me, and I blocked them back because I was so happy to finally block everyone. Ugh, bye. Like, they're all stupid and corny and ugh. And then some of the boys that worked there, like I said, they were young and super childish, so they were trying to like pull pranks and stupid jokes on me. Like I would get calls like at 3 a.m. in the morning, and it would be them because I recognized their voice, right? And they would call me on the phone and be like trying to like say like fuck you, ha 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 ha, and then close the phone, like hang up. It was so stupid, and after a while it just stopped and I never saw them again. I don't go to that store anymore. I just go to like other stores. And yeah, that was how that story ended. I feel like I won in the end because, you know, they still had to pay me, and they tried to fire me and did all that and tried to send sneaky letters to my house knowing that I'm at Curacao, so I won't be able to read it, and tried to fire me and tried to lie and do all of this. And in the end, they still had to pay me 4 full months without even going to work. So they did all that for nothing. So I was really happy about it. But yeah, that was how that story went. Of course, I don't work anymore. I don't work there anymore, and I haven't looked for a job since because not a nice experience, and I don't really need it right now. So I'm like, nah, I don't want to deal with no unnecessary drama right now. So yeah, that's how that story went. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed that story time. I know it was like a lot and I kept forgetting stuff, so then I kept like coming back and saying like, oh, but you need to remember this and remember that, because I don't remember like every single step and every single thing, so things just keep popping up in my head like, oh, and that happened, oh, and that happened, oh, and but basically that was the whole story. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also subscribe to my channel, become part of the family, and turn on the bell notification so you won't miss a new upload from me. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.